So all in all, I think the house really has a lot to offer us.
Right, guys, out you come.
Okay.
Well, I think that was definitely worth having a look at.
Yes,
It is interesting, interesting.
Good. I'm glad you think so. I think it's terrific. But it's not over yet. There's still plenty more to see, so I'm going to whisk you away.
Good.
Well, at last I can reveal the mystery house to Fred and to Rosemary, and this picture postcard white cottage behind me offers some clue as to what it is. It's typically Dorset and it is thatched, but believe you me, it's a lot bigger. What do you think would make the perfect mystery house as far as you're concerned?
Well, I was on the internet and I did see a beautiful property. The only thing was it was 5 million, but if you could have scaled that all down and I could have done without the helicopter pad, that would have been perfect.
Rosemary will be relieved to know that the mystery house is well under £5 million, but it's still got plenty going for it. It's nestled in the hamlet of Hamoon, 8 miles north of Blandford Forum. Set against a quiet rural backdrop, Hamoon does have a parish church dating from the 13th century. But for Rosemary and Fred's shopping fix, it's just a short drive to Sturminster Newton, a pretty town that runs alongside the River Stour. The streets are lined with thatched cottages and there's a good selection of shops and pubs. Now then, that's what I want you to feast your eyes on.
That's a proper house. You've saved the best to the last.
A 15th century manor house, Fred. Grade 2 star listed, so just one off grade 1. Handsome enough for you?
I can't wait now.
This house is brimming with old world charm, but as we'll discover, it does need some attention. Right, come on in.
A nice big hallway.
Lovely hallway, we'll explore that a little bit later. But come on in here. What do you think of all this?
This is nice.
It's a good sized room, isn't it?
Indeed, very good.
A huge room, I would say.
I like this.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. There are all sorts of features around this house. Great big lumps of oak everywhere. But I think quite surprising, the height of the ceilings.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Good.
But come with me through here.
That's nice and bright, isn't it?
Yeah? We've got this lovely kind of mullioned bay window. But of course, you've also got this nice big fireplace. Great big, you know, lintel on top of it. You know, what would you be moved to tackle with this?
I don't think you would touch this room at all.
You'd leave it painted
Yeah.
and done?
Well,
Might change the colour.
it might be very, very dark.
I wouldn't
With
darken
all
it.
the oak panelling.
Surprisingly, I thought Fred would be itching to do some renovations, but so far he's been very relaxed, which has got to be good news. Aside from the 2 main reception rooms, there's also a small snug with a stone fireplace and carved surround. And then there's the kitchen.
Oh my goodness.
No, that's a bit of a surprise, isn't
They've
it?
suddenly come up to date.
It's not bad, is it? What do you think?
It's totally unexpected. I don't really know what I did expect, but this looks quite different.
Didn't expect, a modern Anaga and all sorts of things in here.
Yes.
I think it works. I think it's certainly big enough.
Yes, oh, it is. The kitchen's big enough.
Yeah, I love it. And of course, you know, you've still got all these lovely features coming through, these lovely stone mullioned windows and leaded lights and so forth. So far, so good?
Yes, yes.
OK, well, let's go upstairs because I think that's where it probably needs a bit of attention, to be fair. But there are 7 bedrooms to play with.
Oh my goodness, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, 7. Upstairs, there's a good-sized family bathroom and the first 2 bedrooms are generous-sized doubles, one of which has an ensuite. Then there are a further 3 bedrooms, all of a similar size, which just leaves 2 left to see. Creaky floorboards.
Well, as long as I don't go through it.
That's the ghost coming in again.
Well, I'm sure there are 1 or 2 ghosts around here, you never know. I mean, how are you feeling about this property as we go through it?
I just think it's a really wonderful property.
But is it engaging you to think about, oh yeah, we'd want to, you know, take that on and do it?
Yeah, we're maybe 10 years too late.
Don't say, you're never too young, Fred.
It's not the too young he's worried about, it's the too old.
It might take me 10 years to do it all.
OK, good. Well, it's not over yet. Let's have a look at the rest of it. I think there's plenty of life left in Fred yet, and maybe he could be persuaded to take on this project, especially when he sees the next room.
More squeaky boards.
Oh my goodness.
But this is extraordinary. These painted boards with these stars on, it's thought these go back to the origins of the building. They're a really historic part of it. To be honest, they probably do need some measure of conservation.
Yeah, something to protect
at some
it.
point for the future, but nonetheless, well worth seeing.
Yes, it's amazing.
You're literally sleeping under the
That's
stars.
what caught my eye as soon as I came
the
in.
stars are shining down on you. Yeah.
Not bad, eh? But there's an awful lot to show you outside. Bear in mind, it was a working farm, and that'll give you some clue as to what we might find out there.
Good.
OK, lead on, sir.
OK, let's have a look.
As we head out to the back of the house, there's a large courtyard surrounded by various brick outbuildings, including a coach house. Unusually, the main garden is a short walk from here, but there's plenty to keep Fred out of mischief.
Now in here is a little secret. How do you fancy a walled garden, Fred?
Yeah, it's very nice. Now this looks pretty.
Isn't it?
Yeah, very charming place.
It's very charming.
Lovely.
Very, very private, as you can see.
Just a little quiet haven.
Yeah, totally private.
It's the garden for the house, to be
Yes,
perfectly honest, because you
yes,
don't have
outside.
sweeping lawns and all the rest of it. But you do get 11 acres.
Oh, gosh, right.
You get 2 very big paddocks, you get all the farm buildings, you get the walled garden, and you get the house.
Good.
Are you still excited?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, look, let's go back and have another look at the property from the outside. In this sunshine, it's just going to look gorgeous. And you can tell me how much you think you want to pay for it. So, we're back where we started, outside the front of this beautiful building, begging the question, how much do you think it's worth?
I think finished it's probably worth 2.5, and it's possibly 750 to do it, so 1.75.
Rosemary, what do you think?
I think because of the history, etc., attached to it, perhaps 1.8.
1.8. OK. It's on the market for 1.3 million.
Oh, there you go now. That's a
It is
surprise.
the cheapest of the
them all.
properties
Surprising.
that we have shown you. Go on, go and do some maths. Go and
Yeah.
have a wander around and I'll catch you
Go and
later.
count on my fingers.
And your toes, I expect. I'll catch you
Okay,
later.
right, thank you.
In you go.
This historic thatched manor house is on the market for £1.3 million. It has 7 bedrooms but only 1 ensuite, and a large oak beam drawing room with an inglenook fireplace. The house does require some sympathetic updating, but it has plenty of charm and character. Outside there are a number of farm buildings, 11 acres and a walled garden. So are Rosemary and Fred ready to be lord and lady of the manor?
Oh, I do like this room. It's very nice, isn't it? Great
Yeah.
proportions.
Good
And I do
fireplace, yeah.
love that inglenook.
Well, when we first arrived, I just looked at the house. I thought it was absolutely superb, and I was excited about getting inside to see just what the inside would reveal.
I like the front room. I really like the mullion windows.
I like the main rooms, the drawing room, the dining room. I really like the walled garden. The only thing that as I look at it, there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of money to be spent, and am I too old to take it on? Good for me.
Right then. Oh, the day is coming to a close. That was it, guys. That was it. The final house of the tours. Lots to think about.
Lots to think about.
Fancy a drink?
I love one.
Come on then.
Rosemary and Fred are discerning house buyers, but we've given them plenty of options. So now for the tricky part, trying to reach a decision.
Well, as you can probably see behind me, the light is going, and our journey is almost over with Fred and with Rosemary, but not before we've found out if they have made a decision as to whether or not any of the properties we've shown them could be for them. They're all worth an awful lot of money. Question is, are they going to part with any? Well, Fred, Rosemary, this is it. It's the end of our journey through Dorset and some of the properties that it has to offer at well over £1 million. Quite an interesting selection. How have you found the process?
I enjoyed it because we really don't know Dorset. We haven't been here before. So it was nice to get the opportunity to have a look.
Certainly has made house hunting a lot easier than doing it on our own.
Good, well that's the main thing, at the very least. Well, let's see how successful it may or may not have been. It all started with the red brick Victorian farmhouse. What did you think of that as we pulled up?
I liked the house. I think we could improve the house by putting on a garden room. We looked at the walled courtyard. There's room there, certainly room there for a swimming pool. So there's a lot of things we could actually do to improve the look of the house and improve the value of the house.
And what about the kitchen? That was quite special.
The kitchen was great, wasn't it? Yeah,
yeah, good kitchen. Good
all the
size,
space you would
plenty
need.
of room, yes, absolutely. The kitchen was good.
OK, well then another day dawned and we took you to that Georgian farmhouse. What did you think of that as we arrived?
I liked that one. I liked that one a lot. I liked the appearance of it. And I felt that the grounds were manageable and it had everything that we wanted.
And it had a pool.
It had a pool, it had a tennis court, everything was there. But there were a few cracks and things inside. I don't think the boss liked.
No, I think that house had an awful lot more work to be done. And if we're talking about budget, I think we were going to go way over the budget if we continued with that house.
OK, well then we took you to something very different, of course, the Mystery House, the old manor house. What did you make of that one?
Certainly it was very interesting, but to be honest, I wouldn't know where to start as regards renovations or anything, but I think that there would be a heck of a lot.
Although it was the cheapest house, when you would add on the price of the renovations, you're way past the budget.
I'm going to ask you now for some kind of decision. What happens now?
I like the Georgian one. Fred likes the other. So I think we'll have to go back and have another look at both properties and then compromise in some way.
I'm sure that whichever one of these properties you do decide upon, if you do, it will be a terrific house once you have finished with it. I look forward to coming back and who knows, seeing you in there with everything done.
And you would be very welcome.
It would be a great pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Fred and Rosemary are now well on their way back to their gorgeous chateau in the south of France, and it's given me a little more time to consider exactly what this house search has been about. When it started, it seemed like the sky was the limit. We certainly had a fantastic budget and some great houses, but as it went on, Fred's determination to throw several £100,000 at any one of the properties we showed them made me wonder. Perhaps this was less about finding a home and more about finding a labour of love. But you know, sometimes that's what property is all about. I'll see you next time.
If you'd like to escape to the country and would like our help, then why not apply online at bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.